So today we're going to be going over our next nutritional coaching seminar. So some of you guys have done this with me in the past, and what we've done the last few times is focusing on the education element of it. So we're focusing more on the nutrition side, what benefits you guys get from that. Today the shift is all about results. So this is going to lead into the next few blocks of this. So basically every one of them are 6 weeks long. Next year we're going to have 4 of them, and they're going to be planned perfectly around the best timing of the nutrition with it. So today we're going to really focus on the results because that's what you're here for. And there's going to be a big emphasis on why we're doing what we're doing and the procedure and how we're going to follow it all. In the past, what has kind of held the program back a bit is my own fault in terms of holding on to the people who aren't 100% committed. So I expect everyone to really dig in this time. So we're going to be really, really focusing in on getting everybody as much results as possible. We'll touch on that as we go throughout the seminar. So first thing is the focus. So obviously, like I was just saying, the results is number one. So the main reason why any of you are going to do this is, first of all, results. Everything else will come after that. Once you get the byproducts, the kind of in, everything else becomes a lot easier. It's a lot easier when you see things going your way. And everyone's going to be here for different reasons. So what do they look like? So what the majority of people are going to say is fat loss and weight loss, which is pretty self-explanatory. The difference between the two is very slight, and we'll be going over that and how we can calculate that and find out exactly what we're doing. But weight loss is more so looking at it from a health perspective. Fat loss is more so looking at it from it doesn't have to necessarily mean an aesthetic standpoint, but it's more so in that realm. And then you have some people who are looking at it just to be healthier, so to improve their general health. That kind of goes hand in hand with the fat loss and weight loss along that side. But that doesn't necessarily always mean deficit. So a lot of the time when I've done these blocks, you'll have seen I talked about how much weight the group has lost, what the average loss is per person. This time there's going to be a lot more people on maintenance. So there's a good few people who've done this block before. They've gotten to their goal weight and now they want to stay there. So that could be one of you. Again, we'll touch on that as we go through it. And then performance. So this is a big one. So over the last few weeks, you'll have seen the program, the intensity is getting higher and higher. The sessions are getting a little bit tougher. To get the maximum benefit out of that is nutrition is the next step for you guys. So consistency in the gym will get you so far. And then the next step now is to really start to push on how can we get you to perform better. The enhancements are huge. I'm going to show you exactly that with real data of it. But what you can get from fueling beforehand, recovering post-workout wise, the percentages are massive. It's like, imagine you guys are doing a 12-week program block. It's like doing 2 in 1 if you can get the nutrition nailed on. Progress. So like I talked about, when you start to see progress, everything else will fall in line. You'll start to be able to buy into it a little bit more. It's a lot easier to stick to. So that's why this is the first step, is getting the results. Because if you do really well in the 6-week block, in the next 4, which again I'll touch on later, the roadmap is a lot easier to follow. Then education. So the more that I can teach you throughout the block, the better it is. The reason why I've shifted today's focus is because if I educate you now and then you don't do it for the next 6 weeks, it's pointless. Whereas if you're already bought in, you're getting the results, you're far more inclined to show more interest in it. The more we can get you to understand in terms of why you eat certain foods, why to balance it out a certain way, again, the more you can maintain these results, because that's the key element to it. I don't want you to do 6 weeks, lose 2-3 kilos, stop, go gain 2-3 kilos, wait for me to do it again and constantly repeat the cycle. We want to make a few yards, stand still can be progress, and then push on from there. So we're going to look at the data. So the last time I showed you guys this, I was using data from real life examples, real life studies, and people outside of the gym. I've now done this 4 times, so I can actually just use it on all of you. So this is all of your data. So we've done this 4 times, and as a total, we've lost 141.7 kilograms. It's not a coincidence that it's roughly about 3 kilograms average per person. We can do better, and we will do better this time. It is going to be better, and there's a few more enhancements to that. I've been able to give it a bit more time, and looking over the data of the last while, we're going to really push that on. But these results are really, really good. So we need to now make sure that we're making them, keeping the same results, and then pressing on from there. So each person, basically, if you finish out these 6 weeks, is an average of 3 kilo loss, which is pretty big. Like that's 0.5 per week. It's a lot. And then, like we've seen here, roughly about 30 to 40 kilograms per drop. But like I'm saying, we're looking to enhance that and go a little bit further. And what I'm going to show you next is going to be the key to that. So the last time I did this, I purposely showed a bit of data about when people are held a bit more accountable versus not as accountable, and there's a bit more relaxed approach. And some people took it on board, some people didn't, and I'm going to show you the differences of what that looks like. But here is some people that you would regularly do sessions with and how they got on. So this is Lisa and Damien. So if you guys haven't seen them, they come to the evening sessions mainly. Lisa lost 5.9 kilos in 6 weeks. Damien lost 5.1. Not only did they lose weight, they were significantly stronger across all lifts. Their attendance in the gym was significantly better, and their nutrition was obviously better as well. And look from the side as well. Again, you wouldn't usually get that much progress in the 6 weeks, but when you really lock in, it shows what you can actually do. So this is just an example. Again, obviously these guys gave me the permission to do so, but this is an example of what can be achieved. These are people that you see day to day. It's not random people online. These are people that you are regularly sharing the gym sessions with. So why can't it be you? Absolutely can. So that's about making sure you kind of put in your mind and say, I can achieve this as well. So that comes into your mindset. So with nutrition, it's the battle is the mind. It's not the physical thing. You come in here, it's the physically tough part. Showing up is the mental bit, but coming in here, it's physically harder. Nutrition is purely in the mind. If you have the relaxed approach with this, if you do what you've always done, you're going to achieve what you currently have. You need to do what you haven't done to achieve what you want to have. So that's why we're going to make that switch and that change. We need to get rid of the I can't, I hopefully, and I will. It's more so I will, I'm going to, and I can. It's the mindset change and the shift that we really need to work on. So, like I was just saying, to achieve something you've never had, you must do what you've never done. So you need to make that step. It isn't necessarily the process itself isn't difficult. It's the mental change and the environment you create that is the difficult part. We need to create an environment for you to succeed. It's going to look different for everybody, but there's absolutely no reason why all of you can't achieve it. And then, like I was saying, do what you always have and achieve what you currently have. So we can't cut corners. What I'm going to show you is it's undoubtedly going to be resulting in progress, but it's just I can only show you the path. We have to get you to walk alongside it as well. So what we have is definitely going to work. I've shown you the data on it. It's more so now getting the right environment individually for each of you. And I'm able to create that this time by being a little bit stricter in terms of allowing no cutting corners, no half doing. It's we're either in or out. So why not you? Like I was saying, you've seen people in the gym that you regularly train with getting these amazing results. You can do it. There's no reason why everybody here shouldn't succeed. Just to give a bit of an idea on that, last time 34 people signed up to this. After the first week, 8 left. After the second week, 16 had gone. So what I want to do is avoid that drop off. And my mistake was I put too much effort into pulling people back in. Now it's we go in, we make sure we achieve the results, and then we obviously hopefully get better progress. So that leads us to the procedure. So this procedure is based off of all the data I've shown you, and like I was saying, is guaranteed to work. It's about making sure I'm holding you accountable to that, and you guys will obviously achieve it. So first is food logs. So if I can't see it, I can't give you any feedback. First of all, if you're not logging it, realistically, you're not going to make the progress. If you guess, if you half do it, you will. That's exactly what your results will show. And also with nutrition, it's kind of like, let's say if I come to the gym 2 times a week and I'm missing my third session, or I'm coming once and I'm missing my second session, you can kind of get by. Nutrition is a bit crueler. It's if you half do it, you're not guaranteed to see half the results. If you go 80%, you're not guaranteed to see 80% of the results. It's a little bit more finite. It's a little bit more sensitive. So next, then we have our weigh-ins. So with the weigh-ins, we're going to weigh in on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. The reason for that isn't just random days of the week. It's because weight it can fluctuate quite a lot. It's going to give me a lot about your week. So an example of that could be, if I weighed myself right now, I'd probably be 90 kilos. If I drank a liter of water, I'm going to be roughly 90.8 kilos. If I was to weigh myself and report that back to Dara is then going to think I've gained 0.8 kilos in that week. Whereas if I have 3 to look at, I have an average of the week. I can also notice trends. So let's say, for example, if I'm 90 kilos today, I do a week of dieting, and I get to my next week, I'm 89 point something. The week after, I'm back up to 90, but my weigh-in on the Wednesday and Friday were lower. My Monday weigh-in was higher. That tells me your logs of the weekend weren't that accurate, because that's most likely the reason why. Same if it was the Wednesday, your Monday and Tuesday might not be that accurate. Depends on your lifestyle, your structure. But when I'm giving you feedback, that's the reason why I need to see it, because I can identify where you're not getting the results and how I can change it. And the weight helps me do that. Measurements, so your body measurements then help us account for things that weight can be, because weight is so easily influenced. Like I was saying, if I drink a liter of water, I'm suddenly heavier. There's nothing to do with body fat, just body weight. If another example would be, if I woke up this morning and let's just say, for example, I had just eggs for breakfast, and then for lunch I had like a chicken salad. So I've had a lot of protein, very little carbs. Then the evening I have a big bowl of pasta, and I still hit my daily amount for carbs. I've not gone over. The next day, because I've had carbs so late, all of my fluid retention is a lot higher. So for example, 1 gram of carbs holds 4 milliliters of water. So I'll wake up the next day, drink a load of water. I'm going to be significantly heavier, even though I've stuck to the right calories, the right macros. That weigh-in is that sensitive. That's obviously an extreme example, but that's how it can work. So that's why the measurements come in. That means I can see exact data across a period of time. Then next is the progress pictures. So this is the one that I purposely was a little bit more lax with last time, because I knew I could get this statistic from it. So what I showed you guys last time was when people take progress pictures, they just get significantly better results. And what I did is I left it open to the group to do that. About half people did, half people didn't. This number underneath shows the difference in progress. So the average weight drop per person who had taken progress pictures was 5.5 kilos versus the average for people who didn't was 2.86. And I'm actually even wrong in that figure. This figure includes these guys. So it would actually be a little bit lower because they obviously had a higher drop. So that's not because pictures are magic. It's because of the mindset that it creates, and it's the goal that it shows. So it's the intention that matters. The people who did the progress pictures, bar anyone that went on holiday, everybody, they finished the whole program. They didn't miss a weigh-in, and they had every day the food logs. Versus the people who didn't, I lost 14 of them nearly in the first 2 weeks, and then after that, their weigh-ins were usually in and around. Their measurements weren't on point. Everything else was behind, which it was just an indication of the mindset and the lock in towards it. It's nothing to do with the pictures being absolutely amazing. It's the state of mind you enter when you go into it. So what I'm expecting you guys to do is they're going to be mandatory this time. That I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't make that. A slight bit of discomfort is worth the results that come at the end of it. If you aren't willing to take that step of discomfort, it's going to be looking back at the mindset and saying, look, right, nobody likes to do it. I've been doing it for the last 4 years every month. I still don't like doing them. People look at me and they say, oh, well, like you don't want to lose weight or whatever, that's different. I still don't like doing them regardless. I've clients I've been doing them with for 2-3 years. They still don't like doing them. Nobody likes to do them regardless of what stage they're at. It's a slight bit of discomfort, but like I was saying, the results will stand to it. And the last thing I need you guys to do is just follow the advice. When I'm giving you feedback on your logs, on your workouts, or whatever it is, I'm never going to tell you to do something that isn't worth your while or benefit you. So it nearly sounds like I'm trying to sell you guys something, but like it's free. Like remember, this is totally free. I'm not trying to say guys anything. It's perfectly aligned to get the most out of you. So there's nothing I'm going to say to you that's going to be a waste of your time that isn't worth your while. I'm saying it for a reason to help you. So whether that be from a result standpoint, from a health standpoint, from a performance standpoint, there's a reason why I'm going to get you to do these things. If I tell you 3 times to do something, you don't do it, it becomes a lot harder for me to have an impact on you. It becomes a lot harder for me to then go, well, I'm going to spend a lot of time on your logs because you're not listening to me essentially. So I need to make sure that we're following the advice as we go through it. So what is required of you guys? So first and foremost is the commitment to the procedure. So I need you to follow that path. It's going to work. I can say with 100% certainty you will get the results that you desire from it, but I just need you to walk it. I will help you every way I can, but I can only help you. I can't make you do it. So that's the first step. That's the most important thing. If you can follow that, you will succeed. Prioritization, weekends, drinks. So one thing that happens to a lot of people is they can do really well Monday to Friday in the routine. When it comes to the weekend, they start to struggle or they go out for drinks. These things are avoidable. You have to prioritize this. This is 6 weeks. It isn't that long. Time will go a lot quicker. Think about the program we're doing. You're 10 weeks in now. That feels like it was 2 weeks ago we did the testing. It really does go quick. 6 weeks is not a lot of time. 6 weekends, I'm asking you to prioritize you, yourself, your results. The results you get from this, I can then show you how to manage your weekends properly. I can show you how to maintain your progress. I can show you to continue to progress with it, but we have to play ball. You can't go, and for example, if my calories are 2,000, I can't go 2,000 Monday to Friday and the weekend go 2,500, 2,500 and expect to see the results. 5 good days can be destroyed by 2 bad days, but if we prep correctly for 5 days, we can get the weekend correct as well. So if you have found in the past the weekend fails you, you have to start prioritizing yourself, regardless of the reason, whether that be friends, kids, whatever it is, you have to prioritize yourself. And the answer is preparation. It's going to be either prepping meals for it, either banking calories earlier in the week for it to make sure that you fit in. So if you know on the weekend you're going to be eating 2,600 calories and you're supposed to have 2,000, earlier in the week you cut 200 calories away from the other days. You have 1,800, whatever it needs to be. Same thing if you go for drinks with friends, meal with friends, you need help, you can ask me. You say, I'm going to go for 8 drinks, I'm going to have a meal out. I'll say, this is what you should have for breakfast. Keep your calories really low. The answer is always there. I'll give you calories cut during the week. You can fit it in. You sacrifice for this, but you sacrifice for the results. And that's the give or take. Next is accountability and honesty. So I can hold you accountable. I can check your logs. I can do everything like that. But if the logs aren't correct and if you aren't doing what I'm asking you to do, I can't do much. So accountability, I'll make sure you're weighing out your food. You're being true to the values that you're putting in on the logs. And then honesty, like it might not seem like a lot, but the little things that you pick up, the little things that you don't log, all of them things have a contributing factor. So then if I'm then going back to look at your data, I'm looking at your logs as that's 100% true. That's everything you've had. The telling me, oh, I had this, I think, on Saturday and this on Sunday, random food names without amounts and brands is very hard for me to make any assessment on. So that's why we need to have the logs. We need to be 100% honest. We don't log we have to log everything. If we don't log some bits, it's obviously going to impact your results, and it's also going to impact my ability to help you with that. So standards for yourself and for the program. So we do everything on time as it's supposed to be done, and in that way I can give you feedback. I will not be late. I will send you on your feedback on time every time. I'm going to expect that same from you. So if I look at your food logs and I don't see days in, I don't want to have to text you to ask, because there's about 20 of you here. There's another 5 that are on holidays, 25 people. I can't chase you. You have to be on time. So food logs have to be done. Your weigh-ins have to be done on time. If I don't have your weight, I can't give you a rough assessment. There's no point in me telling you your food is great if your results aren't there, because your food isn't great then because we haven't got it right. So I need to have everything on time. The food and weight are the 2 most consistent ones. We do measurements at the beginning, the middle, and the end. So they're not that frequent, but again, on time, because I'm giving you your assessment based off of everything. So eliminate excuses. You can do this. There's absolutely no reason why. Every single one of you in here, again, if I asked you all, you would all tell me you're busy. So you're no busier than the person beside you. It's really going to be about you. You can do this. You have to eliminate that excuse. If you think you're too busy to do it, again, everybody that's made the progress at the beginning, they probably would have said they're too busy as well. There's always a way. There's always time. You can do it. You have to eliminate that and get that out of your mindset. Cooperation, kind of like the similar points. Just again, cooperate with me. We'll play ball. We'll do this together. It takes 2 to tango on it. Then communication. So this is a big one. The best thing about this is, we've got 6 weeks. If you are halfway through a week and you haven't done anything, don't wait until the next week to tell me. Tell me then. Tell me what you're struggling with. Tell me at the current time. There's no point in telling me in 2 weeks' time or a week later. Communicate if you're struggling, if you're finding things hard, if you aren't getting progress, if you aren't seeing what you're expecting. Because most likely it's a simple fix. Generally it is. It's not rocket science. So we can fix it, but you have to communicate with me. Don't leave it till 2 or 3 weeks, or don't just ghost and disappear, because again, there's always a way back. You can always get it done. I can't help you if we obviously don't. So mutual respect, the thing on time, like that. I won't be late for you. Don't be late for me. So there's 25 of you. For me to give you all the most I possibly can, you need to be on time. Make sure we have everything done and, like I was saying, coordinated. And then don't quit. So like I said there, a good example would be Lisa, who dropped the 5.9 kilos. She actually went on holiday for a week during the middle of that and was thinking of just stopping after, because she thought she had already missed it. But she came back and still made a lot of progress. But again, came to communication. There's always a plan. There's always a way back. Don't quit. You have 1 bad week. You've got 5 more to go. 1 bad week might just be a week that you're doing right now. So don't worry. Even if you do 90% of it right, if 10% doesn't go your way, you can still come back. Don't just ghost this. Just stick to it. I will be able to help you. And like that, you can make a lot of progress. So for example, technically Lisa did 5 weeks and she still made that jump. So you can do it. Just make sure you stick with it. So what will you get? You're going to feel better for a couple of different reasons. It can be, first of all, confidence. If your results come your way, you're actually going to be healthier, because what we're going to look at is balancing out your nutrients, which then helps in turn balance out your diet, balance out your actual energy levels, make sure everything else is on point. I'm going to help you work on timing and foods. So you've got a lot more in that feel better rather than just the mental side of it. We're going to look better. Regardless, a lot of people don't, maybe I'm strange, but I don't mind if I say my goal is to look better. People kind of hold back and they go, oh, I want to be healthier, I want to lose a bit of weight. You can say you want to look better when I ask you about your goals. Don't be afraid of saying it. It's not a vain thing to say. It is something that will happen naturally as people build muscle mass, lose body fat percentage, lose weight. That will happen as well. Perform better. Your gym performance will significantly improve because you're going to fuel correctly. You're going to really push on recovery. So you'll actually be enhanced in here. Even though you're on less calories, your gym performance will improve, and your energy day-to-day life is going to be better. So your performance will help cognitively as well. You're going to be stronger as a turn from that, healthier. And then the bottom line is the price you would pay for that. Like if I could have went back in time and say showed Damien and Lisa the results, and I asked them, how much money would you give me if you could look like that, or you could make that amount of progress, you could be that much stronger, it would probably be a big number. A lot of people would pay a lot to make that progress. If I told you there was a pill that cost X amount of money and that will give you exactly what you get there in terms of lose 5-6 kilos, I guarantee a lot of people would take that option. So it's just about now putting all of these procedures together. Really push for it. It can happen for you. Okay, so misconceptions around weight. The reason I've put this in here is to avoid any confusion at all from the get-go, so you guys know exactly what is happening if your weight isn't going the way you want it to be. So first one is water weight. So like I said there, depending on how many carbs you've eaten, the time you've eaten, when you've eaten, how much water you've drank, how much fluid you drank, it can be heavily influenced. So it's again why the 3 weigh-ins are important, why consistency with weigh-ins is important, because then we can catch it when it does happen. It doesn't mean if 3 weeks later you're still the same weight, it's not water weight at that point. This is more so for the immediate. So don't put too much not literally, but don't put too much weight on the scales in the sense that if you step on it Wednesday and you've done everything correct and its weight is up, don't be panicking. If on Friday you'll probably see a decent drop, again, it can depend on the time. Like I was saying earlier, if you pass a late night drinking a lot of fluids, didn't go to the toilet, your weight is going to be heavily influenced. You can buy a couple of kilos quite easily. So then muscle building. So a question that a lot of people ask when the weight isn't going down is, am I building muscle at the rate at which that it's balancing? So I'm building muscle and I'm getting heavier and my weight isn't coming down. That's impossible. So for a beginner, somebody who's never touched a weight before in their life, in a month, they can gain 1 to 2 pounds if they're a male. If they're a female, it's half a pound to a pound. That's how much they can gain in a month. And that's a beginner. None of you are beginners. So if somebody is training 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years, the amount of muscle a man can build generally is 0.5 to a pound per month. And a female, again, half of that. So the rate at which you would build muscle and gain it like that is significantly less than your weight. So it's never, okay, I'm building muscle and my weight isn't coming down. It's your weight's not coming down because we're not in a deficit. That's the main reason. So creatine and weight gain. So creatine is a supplement I'm going to get you all to take. It's the most researched supplement on the planet, not just from an exercise standpoint. It's actually really good for your brain and your heart. All of the recent studies point towards lower risk of heart disease, less risk of dementia, better cognitive function, less risk of Alzheimer's. There's a lot of really good benefits to it outside of just lifting weights. In terms of weights, it's going to make you stronger. So basically, creatine is like it's like a really, really powerful molecule. Your body will naturally produce it anyway. So let's say, for example, if you were to bench press and you're lifting as heavy as you can, your body will use creatine for the initial first or second rep. You supplement that and take it. It enhances that a little bit further. You can get a little bit more out of it. Your body has more stores. You can use it more frequently and therefore better progress. Does it make you heavier? Yes, but not body fat. So if you take creatine, it's going to increase your weight because creatine draws water into the cells. So creatine will sit in your muscles, it'll pull water into the cells, and then you're holding more fluid. That is, let's say, your first week or two, whatever weight you gain, it'll then level out. It doesn't continue to just, you don't keep storing more water. It's your body will get to a point that it can hold this amount of creatine and your weight will go there. That is nothing to be afraid of at all. So if I'm 90 kilos, I start taking creatine, I'm 92 kilos, I still look exactly the same in the sense of what I look like body fat percentage wise. The weight is water. It's just water in your body and it's worth it for the creatine. And it's only the initial start. After that, everything will take away. So then fat loss versus weight loss. Like I was saying, if your goal is, let's say if you've done this program for a couple of times, there's a few people that have done it like 3 or 4 times. They've gone from 75 kilos to say 62, 63 kilos. They want to stay there now, but they want to get a little bit leaner. So fat loss looks like a smaller margin. It could be dropping in the whole 6 weeks. They might drop 1 kilo, which is fine because they're losing body fat percentage. They're holding onto their muscle mass. Don't compare your numbers to other people. Some people are looking purely for weight loss and they might lose 5, 6 kilos in that. The amount of weight that you're trying to lose is individualized, so don't worry about it. Just focus on yourself and your goal. But with fat loss, the numbers and the margins are smaller. But again, that's not a bad thing. Exercise for weight loss. So a lot of people will ask what type of exercise they should be doing to lose weight. And exercise aids weight loss. There's no specific exercise or no exercise is better. You lose weight through your nutrition. Your exercise helps you get an output, but it's about 10%. So, for example, what people ask is, should I do more cardio to lose weight? Cardio will burn a few extra calories. It's about 50 calories in the difference. If you do a really intense weight session versus a really intense cardio session, maybe 50 to 100 calories. It's not a huge amount more. What you're significantly better off doing is exercise additional to it, but don't use exercise as a tool for weight loss. Use exercise as an aid. It's better for your health to focus on that, and then your nutrition on the weight loss side of things. Then spot reduction. So I don't believe any of you do believe it, but just in case there is somebody there. Spot reduction means if I said I want to lose fat in my stomach specifically or my arm specifically, so I'm going to do just crunches and arm work. Doesn't work like that. Everybody, again, is a little bit different. Genetically, your fat stores are all a little bit different. People will lose fat from different areas first. Some people lose it in the face first. Some people lose it in the legs. It's completely individualized. As long as you're losing fat, that's the main thing. But you can't target it. You can't decide where your body does that. It generally removes it from the places that's most dangerous first. So generally we'll see as people's stomach come in because your organs are here. It's not dangerous to have fat in around your face, but you will see it over time when people lose weight at the beginning, usually here, and then you see it in the face, and then there's no major organs around your arms. So again, the arms come last. It depends on where, but again, everyone's individualized. It's a little different for everybody. Then getting bulky, not necessarily related to the weight loss, but getting bulky is the thing where people think, oh, if I'm going to lift too much weight, so I'm going to get too bulky. That's not possible. Building muscle is the hardest thing to do. So there's a few of you guys here that are just looking to build more muscle, and that's your goal of this program. So building muscle is the hardest thing you can do in the gym. So it requires a lot to be right. So there's absolutely no concern with that ever happening to anyone here that they're going to get too bulky. I've been trying for about 10 years. Look at me. So there's a big ask there. And then eating at a certain time. So if people think that if you eat like 7 p.m., they're going to build this gain fat, or if they eat at 9 p.m., they eat too late at night. The only thing that matters there is it'll affect your sleep. That's it. Just because if you eat before you sleep, your body is digesting the food and you're sleeping, you're not going to have as good a quality of sleep. You might get 8 hours, but 8 hours can be different depending on what environment you're in. But this eating at a certain time thing, you can eat whenever suits. But what I would recommend is looking at the timings and the type of food. That's what I'm going to show you, why you should eat certain foods at certain times, what effect that will have on your exercise, on your health, on your overall nutrition. But again, the only time it'll ever affect your weight is, like I gave the example earlier, I ate a rake load of pasta late at night. Even if it was in my calories, if I had it at 9 o'clock in the night, I'm going to be heavier when I wake up just because that food is still here. It's not properly been digested. I probably haven't gone to the toilet. So again, that's the only time it can influence it, but it will never make you gain fat. It's just a myth. It's not true. Okay, so roadmap. So at the beginning, I talked to you about focusing on results. So that's why there's not really been a huge amount of education on it. It's more so showing you exactly what needs to be done, exactly how we're going to do it, and why it's going to be that strict. But the reason being is because I've developed this roadmap for all of you. So results come first. That's the buy-in. That's the key. So we get your results first. You may not get, in 6 weeks, you may not get to your end goal, but you will get close to it. And then what ends up happening is next year, we have 4 touch points. That's 24 weeks total. You don't have to do all of them, but that's basically half the year doing nutrition with guidance with exactly what you need. So what that may look like, let's just make up a random person for now, but let's say we have somebody who's 100 kilograms, they want to be 60 kilograms. They do block 1, they're 94. They do block 2, they're 88. They keep chipping away. But by the end of 5 of these, odds are you're going to be where you want to be. Realistically, everyone in this room will be exactly where they want to be. And then the focus might change, the goalpost will move. You might say, I want to build more muscle now, I want to do whatever. But there's an exact roadmap here for you to get to whatever that goal may be. And I guarantee I can take you further than where you actually think you can go. There is a lot more there. A lot of people underestimate what you can do. The difference you can make is substantial, and don't doubt yourself from that. I can take you there. Again, like I was saying, I just need you to walk the road. We've got the roadmap ready for you. So this is the next key part. So you're going to make progress here. Then the key thing is, after this block, I'll advise you on what to do next, because there's going to be a gap till our next one. So if you're feeling good and I feel like I'm confident that you can carry on, I'll give you a time frame to keep pushing. But you can't keep pushing all year round. You can't do this for a year straight. Just not going to happen. So you need to be strategic about it. If I think, right, realistically, you might get to 8 weeks, you might get to 10, and then take a break. But what I'll do at the end of this, I'm going to give you maintenance calories. And if you're already maintenance calories, I'll obviously help you out with that too. But that changes. So let's say, for example, I'm 100 kilos. At the end of it, I'm 94 kilos. A lot of people that lose weight, they haven't been the weight that they get to in a long time. So let's say, again, that person I made up earlier, they're 100 kilos, they're 94. I might say, when was the last time you were 94 kilos? They could say 3 years ago. So how would they understand, or how would their body know how to maintain 94 kilos if it hasn't been there for 3 years? It's been on the up consistently, say, for the last 3. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the key thing is that I don't want you to lose progress. I want you to get a load of progress, hold it. I'll show you how to maintain it. And then the next time it comes around, the target is different. And like I was saying, that roadmap starts to take place. We start to get you exactly where you need to be. And the last bit is the education. Everything that I've talked about, I'm going to go over it in the next slide as well. I'm going to show you how to make the right decisions, why them decisions are correct, and how to start to understand how to read food labels, how to understand how to use the food correctly, and what exactly it is you're eating and why it is you're eating it. Obviously, there's different factors. It's not saying that everything that you eat has to be purely nutritionally beneficial. You need to eat things for enjoyment. You need to eat things for social events. That's all normal. Then it's just a calorie game, but we're obviously looking at the education side of it too. So on that, so this is what's going to be in the 6 weeks. So in the past, like I was saying, I've kind of touched base on it at the beginning, but rather than that, we're going to go into a little bit more detail. So an example of that is macro and micronutrients. Basically, macronutrients are your protein, carbs, and fats. Macro being bigger, the more it's the majority of what you're eating. Micronutrients is the vitamins and minerals, vitamin A, etc. So why they're important is the macros are going to have the biggest impact immediately. Then the micronutrients have a massive impact in terms of how you feel day to day, and they can enhance your life and performance significantly when you're not deficient in them. So I'll be able to look at them, tell you what foods have what, and understanding what a carb is, what types of carbs there are, what function they have. Like, people have a thing of bad and good. It's not bad and good. It's simple and complex. What that does, what's the benefit of it? Sometimes the benefit can be it tastes nice and that's it. Sometimes the benefit of it is I need it to fill me up. So another example that a lot of people don't know about is protein. So protein bars, probably a lot of people in here have had them before, but if you have a Fulfill protein bar, it'll say there's 20 grams of protein in it. There's When somebody gets a protein bar, they're not usually getting it for any other reason but they're trying to hit their protein target to build muscle to recover from the gym. But if you actually read the label of that, there's 16 grams of protein that's used for muscle growth. The last 4 grams of protein they throw in there is collagen protein. So that actually can't be used for muscle growth because it doesn't have the right amino acid profile. So what they're actually doing is filling it up a little bit more with cheaper protein to hit a higher target. But you think I've hit 20 grams of protein when you've actually got 16 that'll be helping you build the muscle. The other 4 is for your hair and your nails and your skin, which can be important, but it's a lot cheaper. It's the reason they throw it in there. So there's other products, for example, there's a protein bar literally called All Real. They actually have 15 to 16 grams of protein because that's generally what you can fit into the amount of calories that they are. And it's actual protein that's going to benefit you. That's just a simple example. Again, it's not going to change your life, but it's going to be helpful to know what it is and you aren't eating. Fueling, so that's a big one. Again, like I've talked about loads of times, I'm going to tell you what to eat, when to eat it, why, and that'll structure around your life. So if you can eat an hour before the gym, great. If you can't, then it's 2 hours before. I'll show you why and what that type of foods are. But the goal is at the end of it that you already know that yourself. You know, okay, right, well, this food will help me if I've gym in an hour. This food will help me if I've gym in 2 hours. It's all about your own individual lifestyle. And then absorption and bioavailability of food. So that's really important. So just because you eat something doesn't mean that it is the case. Like I was talking about the protein bar. Another example could be if I eat a fillet of chicken and I eat the equivalent amount of that in chickpeas, and they both say 30 grams of protein, that's not what your body gets. So your body can only absorb, it's about 70% of the protein from plant sources. So the person who has 30 grams of protein from chickpeas isn't actually getting 30 grams of protein. Their body is absorbing only 70% of it. So it's then finding out your targets, and that could be the reason why somebody's not building as much muscle as they want, or there's a lot of different reasons, but it's understanding when you eat it, how does your body absorb it and what happens? And bioavailability is basically what's available to your actual body, what's there after it absorbs. And then the last bit is meal guides. So this time I'm going to show you a lot of different meal guides. Now, there's a reason why restaurants have menus. So people don't generally order the same thing all the time. So it doesn't mean everything I'm going to send is going to be for you. And I'm not telling you that everything I send is exactly what you have to eat. I'm giving this to you as options. So I'm going to give you a load of different options for breakfast, a load of different options for lunch, a load of different options for dinners. You might hate them all, you might love them all. It depends. But I'm going to give you them all. I'm going to explain why that they are the way they are and how you can start to make your own. So understanding if you want a food to do something for you, how do you pair different foods together? And I'll show you that in the meal guides. So that education bit will come obviously throughout the weeks, but we now have a block for any questions you guys might have. Usually people don't, but don't be afraid to ask them if you do have any. Anyone have any? No?
I guess a quick one.
Yeah, go ahead.
How, say, if you're making something,
yeah,
are you measuring out the weight? Like, okay, is it X amount of potatoes?
Yeah.
X amount of chicken? Like,
yeah, that's the at the beginning that seems tedious, but the easiest way to do it is literally put a bowl on a weighing scales, fire the potatoes in first, right, gram, done, I know that's how much I need. Same with the chicken, same whatever it is. And if that's something people find difficult, the best way to do it is when you're doing it, make 3 nights of dinners, do it that way, just because then that way you don't have to, if you find it tedious. Some people don't mind doing it, some people do. Any other questions?
Start on Monday.
Monday, yeah. So I'm going to email you out everything I need you to do. I need you to do it before Sunday, because on Sunday I'm going to be coming back to you with all your calories. That way you start Monday exact. But if I don't have it by Sunday, I obviously can't get it to you by Monday. So again, remember, take into account, this is going to be hours of work for the Sunday. I need it on time. So I need, the key things that I need immediately is your height, weight, and age. So I'll obviously ask you guys for that. If you don't have an exact weight of that day, just give me as close or as most accurate as you possibly can be, because obviously they're the metrics I use to calculate your calories. If they're wrong, I can't, then with the calories are wrong, the whole setup is wrong. So we just need to get that as accurate as we can. And then I'm going to send you out guides to do all of the other bits and how we do all of that. Yeah, so that's all to be ready by Monday. I'll email every one of you that though. And then the WhatsApp group, I'll be firing things into that as well as we go. I purposely just didn't put the messages in for now, but you guys will be able to message into that. And if you have any questions, you can obviously ask away. Anyone else? Good? Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a good question. So what I would do if I was you, because you're probably going to go to bed early as well, so you don't want it to affect your sleep. Yeah. So what I would say is I would try to have your dinner at a normal time and then use carbohydrates to top that up a little bit more, so like a lighter snack. So what you could have is, so basically when you wake up and train at 6 a.m. for anyone that does that, when you wake up at 6 a.m., realistically, you're not going to get up an hour before you already have to do because you're already getting up at a ridiculous time. You're not then going to go, I'll get up at 4 a.m. and have a bowl of porridge. It's not going to happen. So what you do is the night before, you're going to be relying on glycogen, which is the stored carbohydrates from the day before. So what we'll do there is, in Neve's scenario, let's say she has dinner at 6 o'clock, a bowl of like Greek yogurt with fruit, for example, because fruit's easy digestible. Greek yogurt, again, really light in the stomach. It's going to be really easy for your body to break it down. Then that way, when you go to sleep, you're not digesting food, but you've also gotten another initial hit of carbohydrates. It's the best you can do for that time. And then the key thing you need to do after that is just make sure you have something after, like protein shake, whatever it is, if it's the easiest, or breakfast, if that's what you do. But yeah, that's the best you can with the pre, before, after. Anyone else have any questions? Okay. To be honest, it's more just consistency with that. So take it as, like, ideally, if you were to be picky with it, is after training. But if you can just take it consistently, that's the key. The problem people have with that is taking it every day. So just consistently is the key whenever you can. And for anyone, again, I've never actually seen this in a guy, but if it does happen to a guy, but for women, when they take creatine, they can get bloating. So if that happens, tell me. If the next step is to microdose it and then look at it from there and build it back up. It can cause bloating sometimes. That's the worst thing that happens, but it's usually easily fixable.
Any particular brand?
Optimum Nutrition, if you can, but most of them are fine. Yeah. Okay? Thank you all for coming, guys. Appreciate it.